Today and for the next couple days, I will be plastering just to try and get a good finish. I keep thinking like I should do one wall, do the edges, do all that, but the way I like to work is actually like I'll do all flat surfaces first, then I'll come back and do all the edges and then be done with that. I like sort of using one technique, mastering that technique, and then moving on to another technique, mastering that technique, go on, and instead of sort of flip-flopping back and forth between like flat surface, edge surface, flat surface, ceilings. Like these all take different skill sets in many ways, and also I don't really want to sand down everything yet because currently at our home we don't have a hot water heater for our shower. So we're having to like fill up pots of water in the kitchen and dump it into the bath in order just to bathe in any way whatsoever. So I don't want to start sanding anything because I don't want to come home covered in drywall plaster and just not be able to shower. So it's just the hot water heater stopped working, and here in the Czech Republic they try and repair everything before they replace anything, and of course it broke the day before a holiday. So there was a holiday on the next day after it broke, and then 5 days later there was another holiday. so getting our new or our hot water heater repaired / replaced is taking exponentially longer than it should, partly because of the way it works here, where they try to repair it first, and if that's unsuccessful, then they order a new one. So it's not like they're just going to go, oh, this one's not working, here's a replacement. They only when they can't repair it will they then order a new hot water heater. It's exhausting as an American. So, because my perspective is, to a certain extent, like you can go ahead and order the new one, have it on hand, and if you don't need it, you can return it. So, but they wait to even order it until they know whether they can repair the existing one. So anyways, that being said, I'm trying to not get myself overly dirty because I don't have a shower to clean myself. I can bathe, but it takes between 30 and 45 minutes to get the water to enough quantity as well as to a good enough temperature to actually have a successful bath at the end of the day. So I don't want to be covered in plaster dust for the moment. And so this wall is task one for the day, and then we'll go on to more walls because I bought 3 tubs of my, what's it called, super finish. Oh wait, it's right here. Yes, super finish. So get to work. Oh yeah, and I listen to podcasts a lot too while I'm working, and so I wanted to give a little shout out to my sort of 3 tops in no particular order. So there's 99% Invisible that I love. I love the earlier stuff better, but still enjoy it. Stuff You Should Know. Those guys just love it. And when I was at my family home in North Carolina, renovating my parents' house before moving them into a retirement community, I found the Why Files, WHY Files, which is like conspiracy theory stuff, which is thoroughly entertaining. And now I'm in a habit of, like, when I do construction, I listen to the Why Files. I don't know why, but it's become my sort of a comfort podcast while doing home construction. So there you go. On to the work. yesterday we had a bit of a problem. Our dishwasher stopped working. So we already had somebody coming to repair our hot water heater for our bathroom and shower that wasn't working also. So they were already coming. So we were like, okay, well, let's get them to look at it. Well, they fixed the hot water. So we have hot water again, which is great. But the dishwasher is still broken. So that sucks. And so I was thinking about like water leaks and stuff. And I'm like, when I get to the house tomorrow, I should just plug up that hole that's in the back of my studio that underneath the concrete, just in case that sort of leaks in. And so I arrived today and there's been a leak. Not just a leak, but it seems like it's been going on for a while. So I came in and found that back in this corner here, underneath all of this stuff, here's my new concrete in the back right corner, which I assumed that the problem was this thing here, but so I just foamed the heck out of it. I'll trim it down when it's all done and cured, but foamed the heck out of it. I don't think that's actually the leak. The leak, I believe, I know it sounds stupid when I'm like, gee, I wonder if this could be the leak. There's this huge crack all the way along here that goes down there and into that corner. That's one obvious one, which then comes over here and then goes up here, because the water is all pooled right here, and things that were over here didn't get damaged, which is right next to that. So that tells me it's not that, because it would have sort of poured in there and would have damaged all this stuff. But all this stuff over here and all this stuff all down there was all damaged, because there's also another hole. If you can't see it, let's see, crack all the way down here that goes all the way down to the concrete. So I'm going to have to now go outside. Well, and then hopefully this will just dry itself up in time. But I'm going to have to go outside. Here, let's go outside. But in the process here, so I had to open up all this stuff that had been water damaged. So now I have stuff unpacked, being laid out so that it can dry. Again, stuff laid out so that they can dry. More things to be laid out so they can dry. And then over here, I have more things. So this is all the sort of works on paper that I have that I had laid out to dry, some framed pictures, more works on paper back here. And then because I don't have that much space to lay things out, I also had to go up to my office. This has taken me like 2.5 hours. And I had to lay out all the other works on paper, like there. A lot of these are, and then there's some lovely framed works as well. And then there's sort of our pride and joy back here, this map of Jerusalem. I think maybe this one's not Jerusalem, but map of Baltimore. But these are not sort of like the firsts, except for those. Those are the only 1, 2. There's a third poster there. Those are sort of one of a kinds, actually. But the rest of these are sort of seconds and thirds of my father's work that I wanted to keep around and possibly frame up and maybe sell some, because as you can see, there's a few copies of them. But he did a lot of silk screening over his life. And there's like our historical documents. I don't even know what they are. But anyway, so they're all laying out to dry. I will press them and flatten them later. Right now it's just getting the moisture out of them so that they don't get any more damage than they already are. So that's lovely. But in that row that was wet, and in this row that was all wet, there was a lot of my artworks. And when I say my artworks, I mean all this trash. This is all the boxes that were holding all of the framed artworks. And I lost some books as well, so over here. So I am sad to lose my
even cowgirls get the blues. That's sad. I got that in college. Same with, I mean, look at this. I got George Orwell's at 1984, Jack Kerouac's On the Road. Oops, Jack Kerouac's On the Road. I mean, there's some great books in here, and they're all trashed. So more stuff that was trashed through the water. But what was saved was, it seems I had the foresight to package all my artwork that was in storage in plastic. So, lucky me. So it's either in bubble wrap, plastic, something like this. And it looks like these ones are paper, but underneath the paper there's then bubble wrap and plastic. So this is all the art collection that I sort of got out of there. And I'm not going through it yet because the water didn't get into anything. They don't seem to be damaged in any way. But they are now in the cellar, which, as far as I can tell, is pretty much bone dry down here. So that's my morning. And I hit my head on this like 3 times already this morning. So the next project that now comes up is that I'm going to have to dig out this outside wall. So I'm going to have to dig down into all this, all the way down to the foundation, take off this faux brick, and put a sealant and seal these cracks and fill it all up and make it nice and secure and safe, because why not move rocks? I moved these rocks to here. Now I have to move these rocks away from here. I put that wood there for the fire over here in the party room. So now I have to move that wood again. In order to get this all safe and secure. I mean, I knew there was a problem. You know, it's very obvious there's a problem. You know, when you look around here, like, it's very obvious there's a problem, but I did not realize that it leaked into the studio. I just thought it might just be an air problem, not a water problem. So now I've learned, but at least my concrete floor seems to be holding okay. So that's something. It's the walls that were a problem, not the floor, it seems. So, got to deal with that. Yeah, I forgot. And to add insult to injury on my day, I came in to look at my plaster work from the other day, and very clearly either, well, I'm sure A, it dried too quickly, B, I made it too thick. And so therefore, when it dried, it all cracked up. So this is one wall, and then if you go down this wall, there's just more and more. I mean, basically, it was everywhere that I put a thick coat of it is where it's cracked. And I mean, yeah, I didn't expect it, but I'm not surprised by it. I was always going to do a second coat anyways, so it's not really that big a deal, but it just, it looks bad. It makes me feel like I didn't do a good job, and I realistically probably didn't do a good job because I put too thick a coat, and so therefore it cracked. But I will put another nice coat in those cracks, and it should seal itself up, because in the end, it's a wall. It just has to be stable and structured and be somewhat smooth. It doesn't have to be, it's not going to be interacted with, hopefully, on a regular basis. But that's the only problem, I think. Yeah, all the other rooms are fine, and my plan for today is to get in and start sanding out all this. So that I could potentially start putting a base coat on, but I doubt it. I'm probably going to start sanding and find all kinds of gaps and holes and stuff, and so I'm going to have to do like a little second layer, because like over here is not super smooth up there. Even no matter how much I sand, it's not going to get super smooth. So I'll probably have to put like a little thin screed coat, like second layer, to get it just beautiful the way I want it. So sand today, maybe paint before I leave, but probably not, because I mean I still have like all the way down and all of this around here to do. So it's probably just going to be sanding today, and then hopefully finish sanding tomorrow and then start painting. That's my plan. That's my hope. It's my dream. And I've had a crappy morning, lost a bunch of family heirloom pieces, but nothing that's worth crying over or anything. Just things that I wanted to hold on to for whatever reason. Not quite done sanding everything, but I ran out of sandpaper, so that's the day. But I wanted to talk about two little things. One is that for all the time I've been doing all these hammer drills and sanders and everything else like that, I've developed some numbness in my finger and my thumb. And so I've upgraded to these actual, what are considered like vibration reduction gloves. They're pretty good. No real problems with them. I mean, they're great here on the palms. They do nothing up here on the fingers, but for most tools, that's fine, because it's probably the palm that causes the nerve issues out in the fingers anyways. So that's one thing. The other thing that we all don't think about is a couple weeks ago when I was doing the brick wall upstairs, getting rid of that, something happened. Let's see if we can see it. Let's see. And the coating on my glasses sort of just removed itself for no particular reason. And it was just that one day. It hasn't gotten any worse, hasn't gotten any better. There it is. So the coating just sort of came off my glasses. So that's been a bit annoying also. But what are you going to do? I don't have time or the budget to give money to buying myself new glasses when we've got an entire house to renovate. So I'm just going to have to, put up with slightly out of focus things in my left eye. So that's it for the day.